Well, as I said on Saturday, we concluded St. Paul's letter to the Corinthians, and now we move into some of the wisdom literature, just a little bit. There's a lot of it in the Old Testament, beginning with the first 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, with Proverbs, which is the foundation of the rest of the book of wisdoms in the Old Testament, meaning that every other book kind of builds upon that of Proverbs, which is, again, maybe one of the oldest books in the Old Testament in terms of when it was written. Proverbs is all about virtue instruction, okay? And that it correlates, it relates wisdom and virtue and puts them together. So one who has wisdom is one who is virtuous. One who is virtuous has wisdom. And the wisdom literature is going to explore, okay, this topic of wisdom. And so as we look at the first reading, again, has hopefully, Christians who are very informed in the teachings of Jesus Christ and in the New Testament, what is being said here is kind of like, yeah, duh, I know this. But to one who doesn't have the teachings of Jesus Christ, the ones who, again, are very young in terms of, again, this idea of virtue and wisdom, they needed to be told this. Okay, I always like to say, when you ever have a rule for something, it's probably because at one point it was broken, no matter how dumb or silly it may seem. Okay, so you look at it and you're like, okay, refuse no one a good which he has a claim. Okay, so if you owe someone a good, give it to him and don't delay in it. Plot no evil against your neighbor. Okay, we're like, yeah, we get that, we know that. Okay, don't envy the lawless man. Okay, but the last one, and I think the church really picks this one out, because this is in chapter 3 right now, really kind of picks this one out for this very last stanza. Okay, and I'll explain why that is. So here it is. The curse of the Lord is on the house of the wicked, but the dwelling of the just he blesses. Are you okay with that statement? Well, in a way, you shouldn't be. It should make you uncomfortable. Why? Well, if you look straight ahead at the crucifix, in the book of Psalms, chapter 2, it says that the one who is hung on a tree is cursed. That's why St. Paul talks about the cross of Jesus Christ being a stumbling block to the Jews, because of verses like in Proverbs where, okay, if something bad happens to you, it's because you've been cursed by God, because you have done something wrong. And if you're blessed, it's because you are what? You show favor in the sight of the Lord. And so Proverbs has this, again, it's the foundation. The first book of wisdom has this kind of almost elementary, very basic type of notion that if you do good things are going to happen to you, and if you do bad things are going to happen to you. But as we progress through the wisdom literatures, and as we look at in a couple days the book of Ecclesiastes, and then next week the book of Job, you're going to see they're going to challenge that notion. Ecclesiastes and Job are like the exception to Proverbs. It like challenges those kind of instances where we say, well, wait a second. The good person has this really bad thing happen to him. The one who is most virtuous seems to be the most cursed. What do we make of this? The saying is, sometimes bad things do happen to good people. And sometimes very good things happen to bad people, at least in terms of of prosperity and material success. And so we're going to explore that topic, okay? And we're going to look at it more deeply, okay? What do we make of human suffering? Okay, God bless you.